Creative Group, I'll give you my quick shtick. Mitchell Creative Group, LLC, is a micro virtual creative agency outside of Boston, leveraging over 30 years professional experience with some of the biggest brands in the world, providing high-level creative support quickly and at a fair, flexible price. Branding and identity, marketing and advertising, packaging, web, print, film and video, podcasting and new media, you name it, we do it all. So please check out our website at mitchellcreativegroup.com. So here's a basic overview of InfoBriefs. I have been making InfoBriefs for a very, very long time. And I want to go through some of the samples with you here because they're actually pretty cool. So what is an info brief? Why create these info briefs? Let me go back to some of the older ones here too. It's really an info document, okay? And there's many different varieties of info documents. I'll go back way back. I mean, I've been creating these for quite some time. They're more or less, think of it like an ebook. Where there's a lot of information. So imagine combining a white paper with a PowerPoint presentation, with an infographic, kind of merging that all together. And that's more or less what an info brief is. And the name info brief, it's info and it's a brief. It's supposed to be sort of a short and sweet document to show data in an infographic way, just like you're seeing here. Okay, so that's more or less what an infographic is. Info brief is. I say infographic because a large component of these info briefs are infographical in nature. So like this one here, you see it's very highly illustrated. And as you go through this, it's supposed to be colorful, fun, graphical to read, engaging. Many times, in fact, most times, it's actually interactive. So that's another aspect to these info briefs. Again, quick data bites. It makes it easier for the user to connect with the content. Let's see here if I can show you some other ones. Let's see some examples here. Again, you just want to go through it like you're the reader and make it sort of engaging. You want quick little data hits that are going to make you want to read this thing, because most of the time you're going to find that people just don't like going through big, boring documents. So, there's a French one we did. We did a French version of that as well. But some of these are really long. Some of these are like these lab reports can run really long with a lot of graphics. But for the most part, most of these info briefs are shortish in nature. Like this one here, I believe is, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages long. See, essential guidance. They're just quick hits. It's taking a long document and breaking it up into smaller little bites here. The world is changing, right? 64% of European manufacturers, yada, yada, 87% on the right. It just makes it so much easier to absorb some of this data. There's a little bit of a difference between an info brief per se and an ebook, okay? Because again, these info briefs tend to be a little bit shorter. You see here, it's kind of colorful, simple, slide by slide. It's kind of like a fancy PowerPoint slide deck, but I have literally done hundreds and hundreds of these things. They've just been very, very successful, to be able to do this graphically. To sometimes what I do, I'll show you in another video, but I'll make these highly interactive too. So you can make pop-ups and rollovers and have data, do all kinds of fun stuff. You can create an online version, an EPUB version. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with modern day technology that just make these things fun to read. I created these too. I call these sliders. Okay, these are, you open it up and this is an interactive symbol. But the same idea as an info brief, and it has pop-ups. So actually, let me see if I can do that. Let me open up this slider because it shouldn't actually be in my info document folder here, but I'm going to show you this since I'm here anyway. So if I go to the next page, for example, and I click on this, you can see the pop-up, the interactivity, which makes it, again, kind of an engaging piece to read. Again, slide by slide, think of a fancy PowerPoint presentation combined with an ebook or a magazine, even a publication, but you can make this highly interactive. Again, just makes it engaging to work with, where you have more stuff to say on a page, and you don't want to crowd it. You don't want to overcrowd it. See, this is real light, real easy to read, real fun to read. But you can do these popovers real easy. And what's great about these sliders, I called them, is that they work really cool on a tablet or a phone. That's another thing, that people really love engaging in content on their devices. Okay, so keeping that in mind. Of course, you can make it engaging. Click here and you go to the website. You can do all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so that was the slider. But let me go back to the InfoBrief again. So InfoBrief, it's information in a brief format. It's highly illustrative. There are a lot of data charts and graphics and fun infographics that just make this so much easier to read. So if you're interested in an InfoBrief, I encourage you to please reach out and talk to me, because I'm sure I can help you create your next InfoBrief, or at least counsel you and show you some more samples and see if we can't get you started on something right away.